one of the ones that poses a really interesting question that doesn't answer the question in the film is called The Trap. It comes from Serbia, and, well, how do you like this problem? You have a dear son who's 8 years old, who will die unless he has surgery. There is no health care to cover the cost of the operation. He needs 30,000 euros to save his son's life. Would you do anything to save your son's life? The film deals with this question. But the deep question inside of it is not only to what lengths are you willing to go? Is it life for life? Is that okay? But then why should that dilemma exist in the first place? Mm-hmm. It is a trap. Okay, so that's one of the films for the festival. We have some lighthearted ones. There's one called Arranged that we're showing Sunday night. Think of this. There's an Orthodox Jewish woman and an Orthodox Muslim woman. Both of them have received jobs to teach in the elementary school in New York City. Everybody expects them to be at enmity, or at least very wary around each other. They become best friends. How is that so? How do we overturn the stereotypes of what must be the case between an Orthodox Jew and an Orthodox Muslim? So the film then is a call for changing our stereotypes and moving toward interreligious relationships. That's creative transformation. Other films. The opening night one is called The Stranger. Mm-hmm. It's about a woman who is an emigre from Argentina to Spain. She receives word that her only relative, her grandfather, has died, and she, being his only relative, has left his ranch to her. So she decides to go back to Argentina. She goes into the hinterlands of rural Argentina. The ranch is all run down. Everything on it has been sold to pay the taxes. She decides to stay. She is the stranger in the area. People regard her with suspicion. What kind of creative transformation happens for there to be a mutual acceptance between them? And you watch the growth of this woman, her own journey, as she learns to move from dependence to independence to interdependence. It's a nice film to start out with, and the director will be there to talk about the journey. It's been around for a couple of years, but I couldn't resist it. It's Joyous Noel. I tried to get it when it first came out, but I'm just a little festival. I can't always get the first-run films. There's this magical moment in it. It's about World War I and the trench warfare. And there's this magical moment on Christmas Eve when first the Germans hear the bagpipes in the Allied lines playing A Christmas Carol, and then this German soldier comes out of the trench holding a small fir tree, singing Silent Night. It's one of the most magical moments I've seen in film, bar none. And that alone is, over against the backdrop of war, becomes a call to a different way of dealing with our conflicts. It's really beautiful. That's Saturday night. I'm also showing a film called XXY that deals with the issues of a person born with both genitalia. And the individual is now 15 years old. What kind of decisions must be made? Then there's a story on Sunday afternoon about Ben X, an autistic boy who's severely bullied at school. How can creative transformation happen in a situation like that? And then one of my favorites is called Echoes of Home. It's from Switzerland. And its thesis is that every place in the universe has its very own music. And that music expresses the joy of existence. It's a lovely film. Then I'm also showing The Band's Visit on Monday morning, which is an Egyptian band that takes an assignment for Israel, for a town on the border between Egypt and Israel. They take the wrong bus and they end up inside Israel. Now there's a neat companion film to the arranged film the previous night. And then finally there's a film called The Visitor, which looks at immigration issues and at transformation in and through reaching beyond the stereotypes. Mm-hmm. We have terrific films. You should come and see them all. Martin Luther King weekend. Be there.
Or else.
You'll
Nothing
miss
violent.
out on a great experience.